Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Joe Ken Around. I'm Ken, and with me, as always, is Joe, who is actually not with me right now. Joe, are you there?
That is right.
Yeah. Joe's elsewhere. Joe's actually in Michigan right now. He has left South Carolina. And if you listen to our last episode, we were talking a lot about Michigan State, the marching band. And Joe, I'm so jealous, is getting to go to a game tomorrow in East Lansing. he took the boys with him, and we wanted to go, but new baby and everything, traveling is not optimum right now. But maybe when the kids get older, we'll be able to do that again. But Dad's going, Dad and Mom are going, Joe's going, and really excited for you guys or whatever. So, are you pumped?
Yeah, man, I'm super pumped. It's been a beautiful day. The past 2 days, we got in 2 days ago, decided to do all the Michigan things we could do.
Okay.
Basically.
Yeah.
And that has been absolutely awesome. It's amazing what you notice after you're gone, right?
Yeah.
So I'll tell you one of them. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'm going to dive right in. So we went to McDonald's today. Okay. I'm just going to tell you, we went to McDonald's. Okay. We go in there, we get our order. I get a fountain drink. I get my cup. I go over expecting to see, the usual, which I do.
Oh, I know where you're going. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know one of the fountain drinks is the absolute nectar of the gods.
Are you talking about Werner's?
Yep.
Werner's. Oh my goodness. Yes. So if for those of you who don't know what Werner's is, and actually there is Werner's here in South Carolina. We did find it. Like you can purchase it here. It's just kind of rare. It is a ginger ale that is just, oh man, it's so strong.
Yes. It's a barrel. I think it's actually still like a barrel aged ginger ale.
Yes.
That's obviously very popular in Michigan because I believe it started here.
It was. I looked it up, man. I gotta look this up because you're right. It was produced commercially in 1880 by James Werner. He was a Detroit pharmacist.
Nice.
It was a golden. It's described as a golden ginger ale.
Yeah, I remember being told like when kids get sick, there are certain things that you do. You maybe, just your common sickness, your flu or cold or whatnot, and your aches and pains and all that. And you would get maybe like chicken noodle soup might be one of those high ones on the list.
Yep. That's a big one.
Every now and then there might be something like, I remember Mom getting me like a popsicle or, things like that were light on your stomach if you kind of had a stomach ache but still something cold or something that soothed you, right? Yeah. And for Michiganders, I mean, pretty much anything that ails you.
Yeah. Ginger. Ginger ale.
Yep. Now, there is a little something to that, by the way. It's not all just craziness. I'm just throwing this out there, but the ginger itself has been proven to help with a few things.
Absolutely. So,
yep. Yeah. I'm not saying that all the sugar in it is good for you and all that.
Well, it's also, the difference is it's very highly carbonated. So it's like double of what your normal ginger ale is. So I remember drinking it as a kid, when you pour it into the glass or whatever, you come from a can mostly is what we get them. And you go to drink it, all that carbon dioxide that's coming out of the glass would like the bubbles tickles your nose, and you like cough or sneeze if you go in too fast. Right?
Yep.
So the Werner's style was common before prohibition is what they're talking about, which because it's produced from caramel and has a robust like vanilla heavy flavor, and like typically the less sweet ginger ale like Canada Dry or something became popular in different areas, but it's just crazy how old it is, because the company spread like during pre-1900s.
It's over 150 years ago is what you're talking about.
Yeah, and there were like the formula for it was it was completely different for everything. It's like 19 ingredients, including ginger and vanilla, but they put it in an oaken cast. I was looking up the history on this stuff.
Isn't it like I thought it was like 3 years or something like that? They aged it in the barrel.
Yep. So I think he did it on accident. He was discharged 4 years later, and he found the concentrate that had been changed by being aged in the wood. And the drink made from it was like nothing else he'd ever tasted, and purportedly declared it deliciously different, which remains the drink's motto to this day. Oh. Pretty cool. But anyways, it's really funny because it is such a Michigan thing. Nobody really knows what Werner's is unless they have some kind of tie to it, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Oh man, I want a Werner's right now.
I'll have to bring back some in my carry-on or whatever. I mean, I know they have it down there, and it's the same stuff, but for some reason it doesn't seem to taste quite the same. I don't know if it's, you know what it is? I know what it is. It's kind of hard to find it in cans some days.
Yep.
I think Bilo has it all the time, and I'm pretty sure Publix.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of them have them locally for us down in South Carolina, but most of the time when I find it, it'll have like a can section and then the bottle section, and the can section's always empty. So whatever Michiganders are there, they all like rate it and it's gone. And I just like it. I like it personally out of the can. I feel like that can coldness is my favorite version of it. As opposed to anything else, really. Unless you're doing a float, then you can do, the coldness of the float with maybe like some vanilla ice cream or something like that. It's fine.
It's heavily vanilla too, so that's like it like goes with that stuff right away. Anything you put vanilla with works well with it. Did you do the other Michigan thing?
Yep. So one of the other big ones. I did them. I pretty much did them all, especially for Midland, especially like this region. I didn't get to do, for instance, like the Mackinac stuff, which a lot of people know, the Mackinac fudge and all that.
But, yeah, that's much farther north. You're
right.
You're kind of in the pit of the thumb area for how us Michiganders or previous Michiganders would describe it. In the Bay Area.
Yeah. Bay City's not far from here, obviously. Bay Area, Saginaw. We're in the Tri-Cities. So, yes, I did the other big one, which was go to Meyer. Go to Meyer. Meyer is, oh man, it is a Michigan thing. However, it has spread. So, even my buddy Everett, who's from Indiana, Muncie, Indiana area, he grew up also kind of in love with Meyer. Now, we might have to look this one up too, but I'm pretty sure it is still a Michigan born company, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong on that. And it's spread around. I think it's made its way all the way down to at least Kentucky or something like that, maybe. Or okay. I might be thinking of Kroger. But I know for a fact it is in Indiana, which borders a couple of these states and whatnot. But it's definitely a Michigan thing. Either way,
right?
It's a huge. It's like higher quality than your typical Walmart type feel, and it just has a way bigger selection. And of course, it's got a lot of Michigan select items. So if there's certain drinks you're looking for, even products themselves usually have an option that just has a nicer
Meyer brand you're talking about?
Yeah, a Meyer brand. Yeah, I remember Weston always talking about that, saying, "I'd rather go to Meyer for that." And everybody knows you can get something fairly cheap at Walmart or something, and it has its place. But
to put it into context, down here, it'd probably be the difference between like Walmart and Bilo and Publix or something. Because Bilo and Publix are
but even those, it's like a super center though, almost, because you've got we went to a full blown sporting goods section. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there were 50 million options for everything. It's just beautiful. I love it. And of course they carry the Michigan State stuff, the Detroit stuff, U of M stuff, all those different groups, like any other, once again, Walmart, something like that might carry, but with the quality of, say, man, the closest thing I think of is a massive Target, basically.
Yeah. That's regionally based.
Yeah. But anyway, it's pretty much a tradition. It's a must do. And it's funny because everyone who lives here and is grown up here, they do that, but that's just normal. So when I come here, and I'm like, oh, and I have to go to Meyer. They're like, oh, yeah, okay. What are you picking up? No,
you need some socks or something? You're like, no, I need to.
No, I got to go walk around Meyer.
You got this itch. Got this itch. I got to go scratch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing I was thinking about as far as Michigan goes was
should I guess?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so there's another thing I did today was do all the Apple stuff.
Oh, yep.
Was that it? Or is that a different one?
No, actually, Ruth Ann texted me because she's sitting here next to me, and she texted me Apple Orchard apple cider donuts.
So right now, I'm looking at what's left of them.
Oh,
an
man.
Apple cider donut. Yep, right on the table. And I had cold apple cider. I had a slushy apple cider. I had an apple cider donut.
Oh, and
next to me, I think it was Beckham. It might have been someone else, but they were having a caramel apple.
Oh, so good.
Yeah. I felt so not sick. I did not feel sick. There's a difference, but I did feel very low, probably because of the sugars.
The sugar crash.
Oh my goodness. I just went down for a nap and didn't know what happened to me for a good bit of the afternoon after that. But
so there's a few orchards that we kind of grew up around. There was one near Saginaw, on the way to Grandma's house. Grandma lived in Saginaw. We lived in Midland. That, during the fall, we'd love to stop at. Then there's the other one you probably went to is it Bernard's apple cider?
Yes, I'm going to say it wrong. Is it it's Barnard's?
Yeah, Barnard's. Yep.
So we didn't go to that one.
Okay.
And then there's Lehman's, which
yeah.
We didn't go to that one either.
They're everywhere though. Because they literally bring in the apples fresh, put them through the press, and you could watch it, depending on which one you go to. But I remember as a kid, you could watch him press it, and you see all the pulp, on one side, and then the juice is pouring into the other side. And then you can go into the store and buy this freshly packaged apple juice, apple cider, the donuts. Like you said, the apple slushy, that was new. We tried that last time we were there, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, so the apple slushy stuff has been getting popular, and I'm all about it. I love it, but I still am pretty classic with it. It depends. So, for instance, in Michigan, you're going to get, your real warm weather, and of course, as the joke is in a lot of states, I'm sure, but the joke is, if you don't like the weather, just wait 5 minutes or whatever, right? And so you get these real nice sunny days, and right at the end of fall. Sometimes. sometimes it just breaks right into winter. It seems like a little bit there, but it has absolutely been perfect. About 70, anywhere from 71, 69. It did get a little warmer, like maybe 76 for a little bit. So in that version, the slushy or the cold apple cider is absolutely wonderful. Yeah. But the other version of it, maybe you're partway through the fall already and they're still doing apples. And it's like 38 degrees. You get my feel? So,
right, yeah, and there's snow coming down. Maybe you want hot apple cider.
There you go. That's my other favorite. So that will also hit the spot, so to speak, and you still get it. So the can't even say it. The versatility.
Yeah.
Did I say it right? I don't even know.
That's it.
Of the experience, though, can be very like all over the place in one sense, and yet still give you that fall vibe for a Michigander. Now, they have it I know that they have like apple orchards in a lot of places. And as a matter of fact, North Carolina comes in a close second right now for me. Mm-hmm. They do a very good job. And
especially when you get up north towards the mountain area and stuff too, it gets cooler and stuff. So you're getting like up to Ruth Ann and I spent some time out in Boone, North Carolina. Oh man, during the fall it's super beautiful too. Cause they're getting, the cooler weather more, which makes the maples and the stuff, the sugars in the leaves are brighter, and
everything.
When you have those extreme weather, it makes for better apples, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. It's just the whole feel of everything that's wrapped around it is very close to like the Michigan feeling, and just even just a true fall feeling, if you will.
Yeah.
Which a lot of folks who are listening, probably if you're, anywhere up north, and even like you spent some time out in Colorado with Ruth Ann being from there and everything, and you got the mountain living, you've got, and they get hit with all kinds of cooler weather, snow, all that in their own way too. And
my wife Denver,
from Wisconsin.
Denver, like you said, if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes. There have been days where it snowed one day and was like 60, 70 degrees the next. No joke. It's crazy out there.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I believe it. And with that mountain stuff, I mean, the fronts hit the one side of the mountain, comes up and turns into whatever, rain,
just dumps
snow,
on you right there.
Just boom. And then, right. And then it kind of like, well, it's going to blow out of the way. And now you're closer to the sun being at that elevation, and bang, just, we're going to hit you with sun now,
Yeah.
You got melting snow the next day, and it's like 68, it's crazy. But that overall does describe it has been, and we went to 7-Eleven. Now this is more of, it is a Michigan thing, and it is 7-Elevens are all over, but that's also a very popular.
Yeah, but the 7-Eleven you probably went to is probably one of the only ones that isn't attached to a gas station, right?
There you go.
That's huge. They're phasing those things out. Like you actually go to the 7-Eleven, there's no gas station attached. We have a 7-Eleven right across the street from us, but there's a gas station there. So
a lot of the palms, they were called PALMS, are turning into or being, I don't know if they got bought out or how that happened, but they're turning into 7-Elevens, which is, it's nostalgically kind of cool to be able to go in and ask for a Slurpee as opposed to a slushy, and they got their own flavors and stuff.
Yeah.
But a lot of them still have like what was the palms innards to the building. Mm-hmm. So it isn't, I just want to say that because if anybody's experiencing that, and they're like, oh yeah, I've been to a 7-Eleven. No, this is very specific. And like you were saying, it's without the gas station. It's a totally different vibe inside there. In some ways, there's nothing special about it. Like, it's not like they carry anything totally crazy.
Right. But that was like the biggest summer stop too.
Yeah. So all the neighborhood is like on their rollerblades going there, bikes, it's like a stop that happens.
Yep.
That now people are used to doing that at other types of grocery stores and things like that, of course. And everybody gets their own feel. But for us, that's what it was. It was like, oh yeah, I'm going to meet up with the Wheelers and we're going to go get Slurpees
that was like the big thing for the day, right? Like Saturday, we're going to play outside. We might play some football. We might ride our bikes. We might go down to the big parking lot at the end of the street. The big Catholic church had this huge parking lot. We might ride our bikes, but the big thing of the day was getting a Slurpee from 7-Eleven down the road.
Yeah. And they had the, and I remember, so like in a lot of these movies and shows, they're, replaying certain nostalgic things. I'm trying to remember what it was in, but somebody brought back, like showed a little clip. I don't know if it was maybe Stranger Things or I don't know, some show that happened to be on. And they talked about a couple things. One was New Coke, which may have happened before I really even knew what was going on, but for some reason I remember that, like some of the ads for it or something, which most people ended up saying it was terrible and it was a flop. The other thing was Doritos.
Yeah.
I remember specifically, like everyone was dying for Doritos at the 7-Elevens, wherever we went. When we walked somewhere, you were almost guaranteed someone in your group, in your posse, pretty much everybody, was going to get the new flavor of Doritos. And I don't remember all of them, but I think it was Blackjack or Jack something, or and it was a black bag. So somebody's got to find this out for me or something. But
okay,
a lot of people,
so many variations of those.
Yeah,
but that was big.
Yeah. That was so huge, and people are crying for it to come back. Like I'm not kidding. I kid you not. Look it up. It's a big kind of revival thing, if you will.
Well, the other one was was Mountain Dew, was Code Red. Code Red Mountain Dew. Oh man,
yes, Code Red. I remember that was a little bit later. We had moved, for instance, up to Wisconsin, I think, by the time Code Red was hitting. But you're right. That's exactly right. It's just like all those different flavors and things that happened that were a big deal. Baskin Robbins when I was a kid, that was huge. And I remember, doing how many was it? 21 flavors, 31?
It's like 29, 27 flavors or something like that with Baskin Robbins. Or maybe it's like 31. It's up there.
I think it was 31. I don't know. Anyway,
so there's still something that you haven't hit on that I kept leaning towards. I'm like, oh, you're going to say it, but you keep bringing up other things that are valid. But I'm still hanging on for this one I'm thinking of.
Wait, don't give up. Let me get one more go at it, and then you just tell us what it is.
Okay.
All right, let's see. So, let's see. Okay, we got the donuts, the apple stuff. We got Meyer. I was going to mention one other thing. I know there's still one other thing I did do.
Well, there's actually two. There's actually two.
Oh, okay. I don't know if this will be it. Once again, it's a Midland thing, though. Are you thinking Michigan or Midland?
It's pretty close to 7-Eleven, too.
Yep. I was just going to say, Good Times Pizza.
Good Times Pizza.
So I'm going to confess right now. I had, including this morning, I had 18 slices. 18 slices of Domino's, not Domino's, what am I saying? Of Good Times Pizza. I had 15 the day before. So when we got it, I had 15 slices by the end of the day.
So that is a lot, but it is a little bit deceiving because there's something different about that pizza, right?
Yeah, I would say they do cut it up into smaller pieces.
I think 2 is really one size. At least that's how I justify when I eat it.
Yeah, so, I think that. Yeah. Now, that's not including their breadsticks, which I also think is number one on the planet.
Oh, man, it's so good.
Yep. And I always do green olives and usually maybe like some bacon or something.
Yep. So that's what I was going to get to, and that actually connects to a bunch of episodes that we've talked about, both with Grandpa Dale, with Dad, going over to Grandma's house. So, and this would be the Everson side. They lived really close. Grandma Ortega was in Saginaw. So literally, like, there was a tiny little triangle. Our house was like 2 minutes away from Grandma Everson's house. And if you just kept going down the road a little bit, I mean, it's all within like 10 minutes of each other. You go to Grandma's house, you go to Good Times, and be back to Grandma's house within 10 minutes.
Yes.
But we would get Good Times Pizza. Now this isn't a chain anywhere. This is locally. I think they have 2 locations. There might be one in Saginaw as well. I was trying to look it up. But they have been there.
I know there's at least one.
Trying to look it up, but they have been there for generations. I'm trying to find it out. I don't have anything posted here. It might be on their Facebook page. Oh, okay. Yeah. So locally owned, family operated. It's been preparing great pizza since 1983. So before I was born.
That's literally like I was born in 84. So we're talking like
your life, right? Your entire life.
My veins were filled with Good Times Pizza.
Dude, and for some reason,
who I am today.
Exactly. For some reason, green olives, the first thing I think of, because I love green olives. I love the ones with the little the cherry things in the middle or whatever. What do they call those?
The mementos?
Not the cherries. The little red things inside.
Yeah, this one's
pimentos.
Pimentos or whatever.
Pimentos.
Pimento, yeah.
And Roseanne's here correcting me as well. She worked in a snack shop and stuff too. She knows what that stuff is. But yeah, like the green olives themselves. Oh, I love them. Oh, I love them. And my earliest memory of those was on Good Times Pizza. There's nothing like super special about this pizza. It's not like a deep dish or a thin crust. It's just like, I don't know how to explain it. You know, it's just different from all other pizza.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure some of it could be an acquired thing of a local thing, but I will tell you, having been away from it for a couple of years and then you come back, there's something about remembering how good it was, sure, and all that, but like I could spot it. Like I'm pretty positive that if you were to do the blindfold test, which I think that'd be fun to do actually, and do like, here's your Domino's, here's your Little Caesars, here's, and kind of Papa John's, and go through them all. Like I could put them on a list amongst other things, Jets Pizza, all the different, wedgies. Yeah. There's just something about them that although it's fairly plain in its style, it's amazingly good. It is.
Yep.
It is. I would say, by the way, that the crust and the bread is fairly airy. Not like airy bad, like pockets of air, just like light.
Yeah, it's not greasy at all.
No,
I think that's like the biggest thing in my mind that sticks to it. It's not like super greasy or oily. But yeah, we're giving a big, huge shout out to Good Times Pizza in Midland, Michigan right now. And that's okay. I'll even link it in the podcast description. I mean, these guys are awesome.
So I talk to the owner every time I go, and he follows what I do and my paintings and everything. And he brought his son. So he's literally taking my order at the front, and his son is cooking in the back. Like,
yeah, that's awesome.
What I'm trying to say. It's passed down. It tastes exactly the same great taste, and all of that is just something that you can rely on, and it's really, really good. So if you're ever in Midland, Michigan, you have to try it. You have to go there, and the 7-Eleven's right next door, so go there too.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say that they're literally right next to each other. They're just right there, on Jefferson Avenue. Yep, Midland, Michigan. Jefferson. Yep. So the last thing that I thought you were going to mention, but it's more of a summer thing. It was Superman ice cream.
Oh,
all right.
Okay, I got a little story that goes with it, super quick. But I'll wait. Go ahead.
Hit
him with it.
Well, Superman ice cream is actually another Michigan thing. It is Michigan's favorite flavor of ice cream. Everywhere else, based on Google searches and what people eat and all that stuff, just briefly looking that up on the internet, it's usually cookies and cream, for majority of people. There's some close other seconds of stuff, chocolate and all that stuff, but like Michigan's favorite ice cream flavor is Superman ice cream. And it was accredited to, junk. I lost it again. I'm probably going to cut this dead time out.
That's okay. Yeah, just cut that out. Is it any connection to Blue Moon, by the way?
That's I don't know actually because I felt like so yes, it is. So okay, here it is. I found it. So Stroh's ice cream, it's again a Detroit ice cream plant. It closed in like 2007, I think, but they're widely credited with inventing the flavor. Their version of it, which by the way, there is incorrect versions of Superman ice cream, and we found them down here. Good try, but don't do that. It's not funny.
No.
The version of Superman that's correct is Blue Moon, Red Pop, and lemon flavors. Now, I think that changes a little bit to like, I think if you have it, I think it's banana instead. But
so I might have new information on that.
House of Flavors is another one that makes the Superman ice cream. It's again Blue Moon cherry and lemon flavored ice cream.
There you go. Yep. I think both those versions work really well. I think the main key though is you have to have Blue Moon as the base.
You're right. Yep. Blue Moon is the signature because that's the mystery according to the House of Flavors menu or whatever I was looking up. That's the one that's like, it's not like, oh, it's not just straight blueberry. It's not a raspberry, kind of taste. It's its own thing.
Yep. It's a very like, ooh, that's hard. It's almost like a cake sort of battery, not battery, like chart, you know what I mean? Cake batter.
Well, it's not soft serve, it's different.
Right. It's not soft serve. But not even the texture. I'm saying in the flavor itself, it's like a Blue Moon. Blue Moon actually has this like very frost, like a hint of frosting with a hint of like happiness.
It's made with happiness, love, and hugs.
Yeah. And like, yes, it is. It is.
Yep.
100%. There's something magical about it. Let me just say this.
What's your story? What's your connection you're talking about?
Yeah, that's one. Okay, so I'm. This is not made up. This is 100% true. That is the other thing I did. And by the way, our previous episodes when we talked about the butcher shop.
I don't know if we talked about that yet.
I could have sworn.
That's a part of it. That's a part of it. Yep, the butcher shop.
Okay. Well, I went there. Really quick. Okay, so what I was going to tell you is I took some pictures. So if this ends up being a future episode, let's just make it that, okay?
Okay.
But, so we referenced it here. If not in the past, then we'll redo it. But talk a little bit more about it. But basically, the butcher shop. Yeah, a little teaser. Used to be a little spot that we played some, football and people bled to death and all that kind of stuff. It's really awesome. But anyway, that was behind this building called the butcher shop, which was really just like, I mean, it was a butcher shop, but it was like also what we knew it for was a nice spot to get like cheap candy and like,
and that. Comic books too. That was my very first comic book experience was at the butcher shop. They had a rack of comics there. But continue. That's just a little.
Okay.
That's an Easter egg.
Beautiful. So I took photos of all these places, and you can even see our house while standing at like the back section of the butcher shop. So I took a little photo of it and even recorded a little video of the area. So, we could kind of nostalgically look at it when I get back. I'll send you a link. Yeah, I did that. I took some video down by a little bit down by Whiting Forest and Dow Gardens, by the way, too. So anyway, we can do more stuff on that at some point if we like, but had a really, really good time. So we go into, now it's called Great Lakes Ice Cream.
Yeah, Great Lakes Ice Cream. Like yep, that's what it is.
Okay.
Which is perfect. So, it's a perfect
if it was going to be, right, if it was going to be anything that replaced that spot, that's where I went. So I go inside, and I'm like, dude, you guys know this used to be called the butcher shop? And the guy's like, yeah, my dad was the one who bought it. And I was like,
no
dude, that's
way.
So cool. Yeah. And he's like, I'm the one who took it over. And I'm like, well, you know what we're in here for. And I, no joke, was at Meijer and bought a Superman t-shirt for $10 because they have this awesome section where you get T-shirts for $9.99 or whatever it is.
I know.
Yep, and it gets me every time. I know I'm going to buy like 10. But anyway, I got my. I call it classic Superman. That's impossible to define. We already talked all about that. I'm not going to go into that, but for me, I guess I'll just call it nostalgic Superman because it has a certain version that I really like. Anyway, I'm wearing that. I go in, I'm like, you know what I'm looking for, and the guy's like, dude, I'm going to disappoint you, and I feel really bad, but we actually are out of it. Like, we don't have it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, my heart hit the floor. Just, oh my goodness. So I'm with a couple of the boys. I think it was Lincoln, my firstborn son, and then his cousin Kevin, my nephew Kevin. And we're just crushed. And we look over and there's pints of ice cream. I'm like, wait, do you have Superman in pints? He's like, no, we don't have those. And then I was like, but wait, what kinds do you have in there? We made our own Superman ice cream today.
Uh-oh.
Yep. Where they had Blue Moon. They had a cherry. So that's why I'm saying some versions do the cherry. The Blue Moon. And then there's a yellow one. There's a specific name, and it's not any of the other ones. I'll get it here in a second. It's in the freezer right around the corner. And I can even look it up. But we mixed our own, and I'll tell you what, the only thing that was wrong with it was that the cherry came with like little chips in it.
Oh, okay.
And so the texture just barely was off, but I gave it a 9.8 or 9.9 out of 10 for the right flavor.
Near mint minus or near mint plus for those comic grading fans.
Here we go. I'm looking in the fridge right now, in the freezer. Oh, you know what? I bet Kevin ate the whole pint because he loved that kind. Oh, here it is. Saffron spice. It's yellow. It's called Saffron Spice.
Saffron Spice.
Yep. And then Blue Moon, a Michigan original, sky blue cream with a light fruity flavor. See, I told you.
Yep.
It's like a heavenly ice cream.
Man, you did like almost all the Michigan things you can do, and specifically like the Midland things you could do. Wow.
We did.
The only thing you need to do is go to a Michigan State game.
I know. Well, we got that one. We're getting ready for that one. We'll be leaving tomorrow to go to a game, and then we'll have accomplished it all, I think. I'm trying to make sure I don't miss anything,
We'll definitely do a post interview on that. We're going to definitely have some media for you guys, pictures and all that kind of stuff, though. You guys know Joe's occupation has something to do with art and pictures and photography, so we're definitely going to be getting some of that stuff. But
oh man,
that's so cool, man. I'm excited for you. A little jealous, not gonna lie.
I know.
But that's awesome. You get to take your boys to the game and everything too. So, yeah, awesome. Anything else you wanted to say before we sign off for the night?
Dude, I just no. One last thing might be, I'm just really grateful to be able to do these things. I know there's a number of listeners that come from our background and history back in Midland. We've had a few people already mention, hey, I really like what I'm hearing, and then there's some who have very little connection, but somehow connection to the Michigan stuff, or maybe Midland or whatever.
Right.
But know us from different areas, and they're having a good time listening and all that, and I think that's really cool. But I guess I would say that everybody's got their thing, with their upbringing, and there's something special about that. And one of the most coolest things that happened today, I'll end with this, was when we went to the apple orchard that we did go to. It's one that's only been open for about, I say only,
I think it was Apple Blossom Orchard.
Yeah. So it's been open for 20 years, and there were a few older folks there who kind of, I think, started it later on, and it's almost like at their house kind of a feel. But there's a little community kind of feel to it with a fire pit outside, some chairs, and you got rocking chairs and swings and all that stuff, and just a little, not shed. That makes it sound like it's, not nice. It's actually very nice, but like almost a little barn kind of building,
Yeah.
that you go into, and it had all those things, but maybe like cut it into a third of what you might imagine going to when you go to like the big store version of these apple orchard places, right?
Right. Right.
But the quality was there and everything. But you know what made it work was that there were people there from Cadillac, Michigan. There were people there, who were Michiganders, but they were going to go visit their kids in Tennessee. Talked with them for a while, and there was just this, camaraderie, if you will, with a number of the folks that were there. That was really encouraging and wonderful to be able to have like that community, and everyone seemed to make a connection over the food, over the fellowship that was taking place. And anyway, I guess what I'm saying or trying to say is that was above all like what really made it work. You hope, because I've had bad experiences in the past, not bad, but just slightly disappointing, where that feeling where you're like, you're going to go back to something because you had a good time the first time doing it or whatever it was.
They say the worst thing about nostalgia is that it's not true, because when you go back, you made it into something it's not. And it's amazing when you can have the same experience. There you go. That you had when you were a kid. Yep.
Yes, 100%. I actually experienced, obviously not 100% of that, but I really did get to experience, a good percentage of that again as, a 37-year-old, what I was experiencing as a, 8, 12, even 15-year-old kid. And some of those same faces and people, it was really about the people. Is where this is all boiling down to. And them being able to deliver these items to you, but in a way that was served up, with that Michigander feel, is very unique to me and is really beautiful. And I want to spread that around. And I know there's other folks out there. I know I'm going to give a shout out to Tim just for fun, but a good friend of mine, Tim, he has some of that connectivity with his Pennsylvania upbringing that he spread to me. And I enjoy that. And I love that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So there's all that. Anyway,
that's awesome.
To encourage everybody.
Yeah, that's exactly. There's not everybody is blessed with like a loving, beautiful home, experience. However, but everybody has, I can't say everybody, but the majority of people have an idea of what home is, and coming back home. There's something special about coming back home to your home church, your hometown, your home upbringing. And like I said, there's some people that may have had a terrible upbringing and then home means something horrible to them. But to us, we've been extremely blessed to have such a wonderful foundation to where we had our good times and our bad times. we might delve into some of the crazy things we had when we were younger, and stuff we got into. And because when you were like, I felt like I had the same experience when I was 8 and 12, I was immediately thinking, and they might be listening as well, but hanging out with the Blackhurst boys around the corner, man. And Mark coming and being like, "Hey Joe, let's go chuck rocks at cars." Just being a kid, it's not, we fortunately never got into anything crazy bad. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that whole experience of home and what it means to develop an emotional connection to a place, food, people, and family, and that spot creates the person who you are today. And that's awesome. You have to go back and experience this, and tomorrow's going to be awesome. And that's because we didn't go to a ton of games growing up. It wasn't a few. But it's nice to definitely get over there and watch some football. A little bit of football and mostly the band, of course.
Yeah, that's why we go. You got it. Yep.
Yep. There's so much more we could have talked about. And did you have grandma's enchiladas?
No, not this time.
Okay.
we substituted it. Yeah, we'll talk about that one another time.
Gotcha.
Maybe closer to Christmas and New Year's. We'll talk about that one.
Yep. That's
We
another.
did get a little
one.
pumpkin bread. Mom's pumpkin bread. I really like that a lot. Yep.
That's very seasonal as well. So, all right, man, I'm gonna let you go. It's late. I know you guys gotta get some sleep here, and
we gotta be strong for tomorrow.
It's right. Got to represent. So, thanks guys for listening. Again, I'm Ken, and
and this is Joe,
and we're joking
around.
All right. Bye.
See ya.